Hello guys, what is up? This is Matt with Comax Gaming and welcome to another SourceMod tutorial. So what we're going to actually do today is learn how to make a plugin that is going to have more than one file. Imagine we're making a huge plugin like a mod or something like that, and we're going to have different modules, and each module is going to do something different. For example, we're going to have a module for weapons, maybe some weapon handler, another module for events, another module for commands and whatnot. So today I'm going to teach you guys how to actually work with these files that are going to be separate from the main file. So the first thing we want actually is this main file, which for me is tutorial.sp. I want to show you here. I have this nice folder set up that is going to contain all the compiler information and the include folder. You're going to need all this, so if you're going to set up a custom environment, you have to copy the files that come with the SourceMod installation under SourceMod/scripting and copy it into your custom folder. So whatever the name is, just put it in there and it's going to work. So as you can see here, I have my main file, which is tutorial.sp, but this is only going to have a few declarations, a few implementations, nothing. It's not going to have the whole code in it. So what I'm going to do now is create a new folder here, because it's the best way to keep it all arranged, and type, I don't know, my files, something like that. I don't know, it doesn't matter. And here what you're going to do is create another SP file, which is going to do it's going to be called commands.sp. So we're going to open this with Notepad, and as you can see now I have two files, the commands and the tutorial. So what I want to do actually is all the implementations have to be done in the main file. We cannot create something in the second file that is gonna have like unplugging start. I mean unplugging. What's the unplugging? Yeah, unplugging start or unplugging end on client put in server or any of those functions. If the main or the core function is also gonna have this method as well. Why? Well, I'm going to show you here. Let me see if I can. I don't know, we have some random code here, and we are actually going to include our file now, but this is not it, guys, so don't quit now, because some stuff is missing. /commands.sp. You have to use quotes when you're including stuff that is not in the main includes directory, so that's why I'm using quotes and not the greater than and smaller than thingies. So in here I'm going to do the same thing I did before, which is going to be public plugin start. And I'm going to try and compile this and see what I get. So if I drag this to compile, as you can see, it says symbol already defined on plugin start. So that's the reason why we cannot have multiple like extensions of a single function, because it's gonna say it's already defined and it's gonna throw an error. So how to fix this? We're gonna keep all the main stuff in the main file, in the core file, which is gonna be tutorials for me, and we're gonna have all the other implementations we want in the other files. So because I named the other file commands, what I'm going to do here is create my commands. So reg console cmd, console, and the some test. My callback is going to be command callback, no description, because I don't care. And I'm going to take this command callback and I'm going to extend it here. So public action command callback client arguments. and we're gonna return plugin handled just for the sake of the tutorial. I'm not gonna make any errors. And there we go. And I'm gonna compile this now, and as you can see, I get no errors. Now, there's one tricky thing about this this multi-file thing. Sometimes when you define a variable in the main file, you cannot see it in this file. I'm going to show you guys something now. For example, I'm going to make a new string, actually an integer, just says new int blah. Okay, it's going to be equal to 0. And here I'm going to make a new function, public test, something random, and I'm going to type blah equals 1. I'm going to try to compile this now, and as you can see, we don't get an error, but we do get a warning because we never used the symbol. However, if I do static here and were to recompile this, oh my god, I didn't change the file. That's a bad thing about working with multiple files. We get this error. It says undefined symbol block, because when you define something as static, you're basically not only telling it that that the size of the array, even though this is not an array, it's gonna have multiple numbers in it, because there's a maximum number of integers you can put in an integer. So when you're telling it static, you're changing it. You're telling it that it's not gonna change that value, and you're telling it to restrict the use to this single file. So if you want to use variables in both files, you gotta use new. Same thing applies for the main file. If you're creating a variable here and you want to see it here or use it here, you've got to use you have to use new instead of static, because if you use static, it's going to throw the same error I have here, and your plugin is not going to work at all. So this is basically how you work with multiple files. It's very easy. It's just a tip. I just wanted to show you guys how it works, and this variable declaration problem that it has. So yeah, you can have, I mean, any files in here. For example, events to handle events, and then we could do something like hook event, player death. I really failed there. Player death. Yeah. And we're gonna bring this here to public player death, do blah blah all the code, and do whatever we want here, and it's gonna work. Okay, imagine we had another file called events because I put it in the same one's command, but yeah, you can have everything separated if you're gonna have different modules. Now this is very useful if you're gonna have a big project and you have a lot of functions and it's gonna get really messy. Just use this utility or method of being, I don't know, more more organized, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I use it all the time. For me, it's very useful, and I hope this is useful for you as well, and you start using this again. Now, next week or in the next tutorial, we're actually gonna learn how to merge key values dynamically. Like we have two different key values, and we can assign the values of the second key value to the first key value dynamically. Also, we have to take a look at the include file, because we have to get the the data type of the key, that is the key and the value actually that is inside the key value. So it's kind of complex, but we're gonna see that in the next tutorial, and it's gonna be pretty cool, I guess. So thanks for watching, guys. Please rate the video up if you enjoyed this. Also favorite this video if you can, and tell your friends about me, because that really would help a lot. And I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.